evening and welcome to Critical Thoughts. I'm Braxton Smith, and joining me by phone call is our other host, Jake Bird. Today is December 4th, 2016, and we are 1 month into Donald Trump's tyrannical reign. Of course, he hasn't been inaugurated yet, but we're hearing more and more about how he's already destroying the country and hasn't even picked up presidency yet. But he has sent out some implications that concern us, and tonight we're going to be talking about the recent talk of a flag burning ban. And as you can see via the shirt I'm wearing, obviously I'm okay with it. I'm not a fan of it, but I am a believer in the First Amendment right, and I got to stand by the liberals on this one. So basically what they're talking about, and I've seen on my news feeds, I actually really didn't think I was going to have to do a video on this. I'm slightly disappointed in the cognitive dissonance of some of the people out here. I'm looking on the news feeds, and they're trying to bring up these old laws. Actually, Jake and I were talking about it. There's an old law, Arkansas law, right?
Yeah, it was the Arkansas law. I forget the enumeration, but basically, they were saying how, if you were to defame or burn or otherwise destroy the American flag in the state of Arkansas, that it was something like up to a year or so jail time and or $10,000 fine, something like that.
I think it was just $1,000, but
years ago.
I think it was just $1,000 fine, but still. I mean, still, that's tyranny there. And, a lot of people are all excited about it. And I see a lot of people, and I even have to call them out on it. Even, being a guy in the military, I see a lot of people talking about, if I ever see you burning my flag, I'll punch you in the face, or trampling it even. And, I understand if it's your flag and your personal property, because then, that's your private property being damaged, and they're disrespecting that. And they are now infringing on your rights. And by all means, deliver that ass whooping. But we're talking about something they've purchased. And here's the silver lining to it. As you think about it, they're burning these flags. They had to buy them from somewhere, so they're keeping, hopefully, American-made manufacturer. Probably not, but no matter what, it's keeping the flag maker in business. So there's your silver lining there. I understand though, a lot of people getting pretty butthurt about it, and it's funny because it's like the same people that get on to the progressives or the liberals out there who are really upset with how hateful Trump is being and all his bigoted speech, and they're making fun of them for being sissies and telling them, suck it up, it's sticks and stones, right? Well, it goes both ways, really, and that's actually what the majorly what me and Jake are trying to discuss here tonight is to get across the idea that now that you see, like, every time a new person comes into power from the other side, you see all of a sudden, this time around the Republicans are the guys acting like assholes. All of a sudden, they've forgotten the Constitution, and now all of a sudden, all your liberals, your Democrats, your progressives they're constitutional experts now. And I mean literally, like, they are well versed in it. Like, I didn't even realize or respect the depth and the knowledge of the Constitution they have until all of a sudden, like, their feelings are on the line. So, you got anything you want to throw in on that, Jake? I feel I was ranting enough.
It's amazing. As soon as you give any group power, and if that group has any authoritarians, rights seem to fall by the wayside. And even though naturally during the struggle of power, there's always going to be people trying to prevent someone from doing something else. It's just amazing how almost day into night, people can get amnesia about what rights are and what the limits of powers are until they're no longer the one wielding the cudgel of the state.
Yeah, and so again, that's where we come in as the libertarians. This is the middle ground. This is a compromise because we have to compromise, right? We have two very different people, and our solution is simple: is that rather than trying to fight and take away other people's rights, let's just meet in the middle and say, let these people destroy their property as they feel, and what's the problem we've been having with liberals lately? I think it was the safe spaces, a big problem. Safe spaces and hate speech. Really, that's something that we're constantly hearing, and it's getting worse and worse about how they're actually starting to make it against the law to say certain things. And it's not like, understand, certain words actually can inflict pain and injuries on people, like yelling fire in a crowded building. That I understand. Obviously, that's not the point of the First Amendment. The point of the First Amendment is so that you have a... Actually, Jake, I thought you did a really good job explaining this to me the other day. You want to explain that one? I'd like to hear that again.
Yeah, well, it's basically free speech isn't just a freedom, a right of people so that they can live their own lives. It's the way that a free society can communicate and discuss and actually debate ideas over time. Because if you keep trying to say things that if you try to put limits on what things someone can say, or also try to compel them to speak certain words rather than others, it's going to be very hard to try to have a real honest conversation and actually get to the meat of any certain topic. And also, it's just going to add added friction, added heat between groups. It'll make it just that much easier to polarize the situation, whereas, if you just get it out in the open and it's an honest debate of curiosity and inquiry, whatever hostility could be associated with those words can be just swept away once the issue is done.
Yeah, so the heart of that whole spiel there, the part that I appreciated most with that was where you're talking about how, we're a free society, and how a free society always comes up with the best ideas. That's why, for example, we won the world wars. That's why we became a world power, is because we had the freedoms and the abilities, and they have all these added benefits to society that a lot of people just don't see, and the ability to actually openly talk about whatever is exactly how you advance, not only technologically but socially as a society. So getting back to it though, that's what I hate about this safe space and this hate speech. Like you were talking, what were you talking about? They're fining people, or how did it go in New York? What was the hate speech?
With New York businesses and stuff, let's say they're doing their little telemarketing thing, right? To for advertisement, or it's a phone service or something like that, and they're talking to the customer. The first thing that they're going to have to do now, besides saying hello, is what are your personal pronouns? Because if they ever misuse those personal pronouns, they can get fined.
Yeah, so and
the thousands of dollars range in New York.
Yeah, this is statewide, talking about $1,000 fines. I mean, you're talking about costing a business majorly. And we see these regulations bogging down, like all this red tape bogging down businesses constantly. And what Jake's talking about with pronouns, in case you didn't know, some people don't know. I actually have to look at stuff like that up every once in a while. We're talking about like him and her. And now there's actually some colleges where you actually get to create your own pronoun, and we saw a good laugh with that one. Fellow freedom fighter out there trolling on that one, and he decided he wanted to have his pronoun be, what was it, His Majesty?
Yeah,
that was a good one. So like anytime the professor had to talk about him, he couldn't say him, he had to say His Majesty. So that was pretty awesome. Anyways, I wanted to keep it short. Just I think that's about all we got to put into it. You got any final thoughts there, Jake?
Yeah, it's just be wary of the authoritarians, because, even though we're saying that when it came to flag burning, it's mainly a Republican thing to fight against that. Even Hillary Clinton, one time ago, wanted to try to put in a law about flag burning being illegal. They'll use any method so that they can control your thoughts, your speech, and your actions. And if you give them an inch, they'll take them off.
Yeah, and I mean, it's like the same thing we've seen in a more sneaky way with like Google searches, for example. Those were manipulated a lot during the election. The best thing they can do is do it through law, I suppose, to actually cut back your freedoms so that you're a little less educated, or a little less likely to make these critical thoughts and inquiries to try and figure out how society could actually best work in your favor, not theirs, the oligarchy. So yeah, that being said, yeah, a lot of liberals and progressives out there, quit making me like Trump. Okay, I really don't like the guy, but sometimes you just force me to like him. So just please, like I said, pull the punches, because in this case, just like Jake said, you had Hillary Clinton also would have taken away our First Amendment as well. But we're gonna keep bringing the heat to them, though. Let's stay united on this cause, anyways. I think this is definitely something we should definitely hold them to. So. Yeah, that's about all we got for tonight. Thanks for tuning in. As usual, here we are at Critical Thoughts, breaking through the white noise to bring you the media that matters.